Krásný dobrý den, vítáme vás u další epizody podcastu Rugby bez filtru. Dnes tu máme speciálního hosta, kterým je náš nový trenér a jeden z trenérů, který pomůžou určitě úspěchu českého rugby, David Courteix. So, welcome David.
Dobrý den.
A to, co jsme říkali vlastně v předešlých epizodách, že chceme mluvit o rugby v češtině, teď na dalších nadcházejících pár minut či hodin porušíme, protože díky tomu, že neumíme ani jeden z nás francouzsky, tak budeme mluvit v angličtině, takže...
David se česky učí, ale
ještě to
asi to ještě bude nějakou chvíli trvat.
OK, máme tady...
Okay, I don't understand. Very good.
Máme tady prvních pár otázek, kterými se snažíme vlastně Davida představit.
Can you tell us where did you previously play and where have you coached?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
That's okay. I started to play, I was 5 years old, and I played for Clermont, essentially, and after a bit in Strasbourg and Aurillac. I've been a professional player for a few years, and I started to coach when I started to study sports at the university, so I was 19, and I coached in Clermont, a bit in Strasbourg, in Aurillac, and after I went to the national teams, particularly the sevens, men and women, and essentially the women for the last 15 years. I went also with the under-20s, the French national team.
Cool, so there's a very long playing career and a coaching career as well. Before we're going to jump to the next questions, is there a team in the world that you kind of would like to coach one day?
Except the Czech national team.
Except the Czech national team, you already got that job?
I think that regarding my rugby culture and my philosophy, of course, Toulouse would be certainly one of the best teams I would like to be involved in. And after regarding maybe the creativity, Fiji, definitely Fiji.
Okay.
I would have loved to be in Fiji.
Us knowing you from training is a whole lot about offloading,
Yeah.
get away from the rocks as much as you
Keep
can.
the ball alive.
Yeah, that's it. And even the way they play, because they can be serious and at the same time have fun.
Mhm.
So they can enjoy the game, be very committed, and be Olympic champion smiling. This is certainly a question of culture. This is a question of traditions. This is the way they see the game. So that's definitely different. But I think that you need to adapt everywhere. But Fiji is definitely inspiring.
So that sort of answers another question, what your coaching philosophy actually is. So if you could touch on that.
It's not easy to answer to this, but I'd say that regarding the coaching philosophy, I'd say that I wanted to be a sports teacher, definitely. So that's certainly part of what pushes me to train the way I want to train. After, I'd say that very collective, because for me rugby is before a team sport, absolutely a team sport. Realistic, so I'd say that be exposed to what you have to do in the game and over the game every weekend. And after, as I said, create an environment where the players are going to improve by themselves more than what the coaches are going to give them, but just try, be intelligent collectively, develop themselves in a game, so a clear framework where they are free to play all together.
So when you're talking about this, what was your first impression when you came to Czech Republic of the Czech rugby players and the environment we kind of had here?
To be simple, I'd say first that it was very connected with what Roman and the Union gave me as a first impression. They wanted to play the game we spoke about, so very free, lots of offload, lots of speed, lots of creativity, freedom on the attacking game, and change definitely the spirit of the defense, so lots of pressure, more connected with certainly the high performance today. And to be honest, my first impression was that it was very connected with the spirit and the abilities of Czech players. So speed, creativity, innovation, being able to be as a team. And to be honest, regarding the defense, we are not that big, we are not that strong, but we are definitely agile. for lots of us. So it was connected with the defense that Roman and the union wanted to do. Lots of pressure, lots of collective things, small principles where the players would be able to adapt. I'd say this.
And now, if you compare those two environments, you previously working in the French environment, and I know it's hard, especially that being fully professional, but where do you see the small differences?
Or big differences?
Oh, the big differences
Sure,
either.
yeah, that's what. It's definitely so different. I think that it's difficult to compare. So I don't know exactly how to explain it, but French environment is definitely very professional. When I say professional, it's about lots of people are paid to play rugby, to coach rugby, to, I'd say, be around rugby. So nutritionists, SNCs, etc. So the environment is definitely professional for lots of reasons and because we have money.
Okay.
So I think that regarding the rest, I'd say that you spoke about coaching philosophy, so now it's definitely different. I'd say that, in my opinion, even if French rugby has a huge culture, which is about what we called, even if it's a bit ridiculous sometimes, French flair, it has disappeared for a few years because French rugby has been influenced by British coaches, I'd say. So coming from New Zealand, coming from Australia, coming from England, coming from Scotland. So it's been a bit structured differently, and step by step we come back to what we were.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Fabien Galtier had a good influence, in my opinion, on that point, and we are back to what we were. Because I think that rugby is definitely a question of culture, of traditions. It needs to be connected with your spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that we are back to this, and that's maybe what is a bit different here. I think that today it's maybe more British. So I think that we need to find a balance between the quality of the players, their abilities, what's today the environment of Czech rugby, and what's the union wants to do, and why I'm here to try to influence with that, at least with the two national teams, because I think that we can say today that the Warriors are definitely like the national team.
Definitely. Is this a gap that's kind of, even the culture and maybe throughout the age groups, is this the gap that's opening up between Czech and French rugby? Because you with Praga have been to France now, and under 18s have been there in the past couple of weeks. And the thing is, until we're about 16 years old, we compete quite well. But then the gap just bridges. Why is that? Why would you think that it opens up so much?
Lots of reasons, I think. On a rugby point of view, I'd say that at the same age, French players train certainly much more than Czech players. Mm-hmm. So this is about the load, I think. After, it's clear that the environment is helpful in France and certainly more difficult here, because you have to be very autonomous, you have to be very, very responsible, you have to be very determined. It's certainly easier in France, but I'd say that there's a huge opportunity here to build the best amateur rugby in the world, to start. And I do think that after, step by step, when you are the best amateur players in the world, you can become professional and enjoy professionalism, even if it's a strange life. I'd say also that, to be honest, France for young players is today a jungle. So they absolutely need to compete to succeed. Mm-hmm. It's not easy. We speak about mental health at the moment. It's something that we are certainly more conscious than before. But I do think that French rugby on that point is a challenge because you've got a few seats and lots of players who want them. So rugby is a collective sport. As I said, you need to be connected with your teammates. you need to be accomplices, and at the same times, you need to compete between each others. So I'd say that that's certainly part of what's the big difference between France and Czech Republic.
External motivation, that the kind of the environment brings you, because there are players in Czech Republic heavily motivated, and some of them are now in UK, some of them in South Africa, for example, your brother, and those have intrinsic motivation, but we're sort of lacking that extrinsic.
So loads of them had the goal in themselves to make it to the professional one day, and unfortunately it is not possible within the country right now. But they've got the goal, and some of them are on a great path to make it. They are already in those under-18s academies, pushing on making it to the professional level. And look, we have had players that previously played professional rugby in France, so there's a path away, but it is. We feel like we tend to lose it between that age 16 to 20. Would that be one of the goals that you're going to have within the union and within the national team structure? How to bridge that gap with the outside world? Or is that not your focus at the moment?
It's a difficult question. I'm there for a few months, so I needed and I still need to understand what's really the environment here. So I've got, of course, a small vision of what it is and what we could achieve. I'd say for now that on the first point, for the players, we want to go abroad. I think we need to help them. But this is definitely, for me, in my opinion, of course, an individual thing. So you want to go abroad. I think that as a union, we need to help you to go abroad and try to connect with another rugby, try to understand another culture, and maybe be closer of what is professional rugby, which is definitely, as I said, a special environment that you need to be able to face. It's not just about being a sportsman or being a passionate rugby player. It's being able to adapt to something new and a new life, and build your life around rugby in a professional environment is definitely something special. So you need to adapt, and you need to be clear on that point. You need to be ready for it. And regarding Czech rugby, I'd say today that coming from France, it seems to be so fragile to me that I do think that, and I don't know how to do, and I'm not the only one to think about it, but we need to be all together.
Okay.
So I'd say that Czech rugby needs to be as a team. And I don't just speak about being behind the national teams, but I think that working all together, keeping our mindset, our culture in each clubs and train as we want, but being definitely connected as a team and grow all together, because we are so fragile that if we are not able to keep the competition just on the field, I think it's going to be difficult to grow Czech rugby.
You spoke a couple of times about culture, about identity of Czech in general. From the past couple of months, what was your first taste or smell of our identity or culture? Have you been able to kind of identify what are the key points for us?
As I said, my first impression was the one I spoke about. Players, enthusiast players, happy to play. So definitely seduced by the game, the way you play as children, I'd say, which is a good thing because it's a good mindset. Attracted by competition when they compete at the level they want to compete. Creative, innovative. So on an attacking point of view, I think it was definitely seducing. I think that we need to improve in defense, definitely, because maybe not that much the culture here, and it's part of the game because you need to compete for the ball. So I'd say that. So very connected with what the union wants to do. That's it. What could I say?
Yeah, I remember in the first training you came up, you threw us a ball, and you're like, play like number 10, or under 10s or under 8s. Just play rugby. Just no structure. And it was very interesting to see that players that we were used to play with, that were heavily drilled and had sort of understanding of the patterns of the game, were not able to be as productive in the game that was only based around live ball, offloading, and it changed the picture so much. And some players from teams that don't usually compete for Extraliga title or are not in the national team squad woke up because they have never been drilled too hard and played really well. For example, I have to mention Tomáš Dvořák. He, from my point of view, he was not very good in the previous system, and now he lit up and he's playing a lot better. So that was one of them.
Yeah, it's difficult for me to
obviously.
to talk about it. So I won't speak about the players one by one, but I'd say that it seems to be connected with the spirit of the players, and I do agree on that point. Skillful players, attracted by the space, they definitely understanding the game when it's chaotic, which is the most important, because you said not structured. It's not structured. It's structured about the way the ball moves and the way the ball carrier sees and attack the space. So it's more about it. It's structured, but it's structured by the chaos and by the tactical decision of the ball carrier. So first of all, as coaches, we wanted to free the players. When I say that, it's not a bad judgment, because there are many ways to play rugby. And you can be very structured. Ireland is very structured. Scotland is a mix between structure and freedom. France is definitely unstructured, even if it is. So you've got many options to play rugby, and there's not a best one. I do think that the union called me to come and play more French game or French philosophy, because it seemed to be connected with Czech culture. I do think it's real. The discussions I had with lots of former players, I won't give the names here because I don't know. But I talked with all of them, and I felt that they were connected with that picture of Czech rugby and that picture of Czech mindset regarding rugby. And that's just what I want to say about it. I've got nothing else for now.
Cool. And now bringing that to your main job here, being a head coach of the national team, what is that one, or maybe you've got a little bit more, what is the goal that you want to achieve with the team?
Regarding the result, the pure result, I'd say that even if I know that some people think that it's not doable, I do think that the objective that the union has at the moment, so trying to qualify for a World Cup and for the next World Cup, it's achievable. So I think that the result is okay. After, I think that as coaches and as a coach, I need to be connected on the process more than the result. So I'd say that play well, so be connected with what we talked about. Just try to play well, improve step by step. I do think that for now we need to have a cycle where players feel free to play, be connected with speed. What is rugby today? What World Rugby wants anyway, because they want tries, they want speed, they want spectacle, they want big fights also, because that's part of what they need to sell rugby everywhere in the world. So I think we need to be connected with it and discover step by step, or identify more what is Czech rugby culture. For now, that's the first cycle. This is this one. Of course, we need to be efficient, but efficiency will come step by step. And I think that for now, play as much as possible, being exposed as much as possible to intensity, to speed, and feel who we are and be comfortable in it. Because I know you talked about the players. And I know that this type of game, this type of philosophy, when you start, you've got players feeling very comfortable, as you said, and others who are very uncomfortable with it. And you need to accept it. They need to accept the challenge. And you need, as coaches, to accept it and help them to enjoy it, to feel free, because I think that every player can feel comfortable in that type of philosophy. And rugby is about adaptation, so that's it.
So we're delving in the territory of very technical side of rugby. So and we've got a couple of questions about it. How do you develop like decision making under pressure that we've just talked about? How do you make that work?
To be very simple, by doing it lots of times, and accept that rugby is definitely not perfect. I'm not the first coach to say it. Eddie Jones was the first one to say that rugby was definitely chaotic, and that you needed to understand that if you wanted to be absolutely perfect, so like in something which could be really controlled, I think that you were in a bad way. That's my opinion.
Okay, yeah.
Again, it's not about... I'm not there to explain rugby to Czech rugby or any coaches. That's my philosophy. But I do think that it's very chaotic, so you need to adapt. So how do you train under pressure? By thinking about the pressure. What is the pressure? What is the pressure? How can you make the players being under pressure? How they can enjoy it? How they can accept it? How they can be comfortable in it? And I do think that today you need to accept that you've got three types of rugby. The rugby where you have the momentum, which is definitely the one you want. So you need to train it.
Mm-hmm.
So be quick, be free, have supports everywhere, and try to find the space, avoid the rucks, to be as quick as possible, and score as quickly as possible. And after, you need to accept that sometimes you are 50-50, so you need to create something to get a mismatch, to get the good balance for you. And after, sometimes you're under pressure because the team which is in front of you wants exactly the inverse of you. So you need to train it also.
Mm-hmm.
So being 3 against 5 or 3 against 6, starting by this, and how can you inverse the pressure, etc., etc. That's, for me, the answer I would give. So it's pretty simple, because rugby is definitely, regarding my opinion, a very simple sport, which is complex when you practice. So you need to practice the complexity, and the complexity is very 15 against 15, finally, or 7 against 7.
So that's one thing you've brought, and has been a massive difference. We've played so much of actual games at training sessions, both with national team warriors and stuff, and sevens when we do it at Dukla. We play live games with little tweaks, so that you can always put pressure on one skill or one aspect of the game, which has been great.
And it makes the difference having those exposures in training sessions. I think the biggest thing we can all agree on was a change in this defensive mindset. And you've already said that it is still something we need to work on and we need to improve. But we saw during autumn last year that it's already starting working pretty well. What is that one thing in your defensive mindset that you think Czech players really should focus on?
Good question. I'm going to try to be as simple as possible. I'd say that regarding the law, rugby is a pressure sport. So I'm going to try to explain by French words. In French, you don't speak about attack or defense. You speak about having the ball or not having the ball. But finally, you attack when you get the pressure for you. So we don't care about having the ball. It's not important for us. We are not in a possession game. You just need to have the ball one time to score. So that's more our philosophy. So it's maybe clear to explain. Mm-hmm. So when you defend, what do you want? You want to retrieve the ball. You want to get the ball back as soon as possible. So it's about pressure. So going forward. Going forward is not easy. So you need to be organized for it. The second point for me is being collective. So I'd say that today maybe we should focus on work as a team defensively and not being just on 1 against 1 and win your 1 against 1. Because regarding rugby philosophy and defense philosophy today, defending 1 against 1 is definitely difficult because players are very strong and offloads are definitely the best weapon in rugby. When you break the line, it's really, really difficult today to stop attacking players because they are quick, because they are smart, because they are easy in the 1 against 1. They're going to save the ball, they're going to keep the ball alive. So that's certainly something very important. So pressure, pressure spirit, and collective principles.
This is a thing that separates players from each other. So basically the attitude or the character of the player, which he takes on with the defensive mindset. So we've got many sort of players in the national team. Some have good attitude and defend really well. Some don't, like myself. And so how do you manage those?
It's good to be coach.
So how do you manage those different personalities?
I'd say that step by step, you need to offer the players a space to explain themselves and try to help them to understand that the system can be helpful, but that they need to apply the system and they need to accept it. That's part of the framework. We need to play all together. So we can't adapt to each personality. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you need to help each profiles. I would say personality is maybe not the good word. I would speak about profiles. Mm-hmm. You need to help all the profiles to find part of their comfort in the system. And at the same time, you need them to understand and help them to understand that the system is stronger than the people. So that's a bit like that. But I'd say that defensively, even for the players who are not passionate by defense, because they are definitely more attacking players, I'd say that a system very collective can be very helpful. Mm. And by being connected with the others, I think it can be part of their motivation to be totally committed in defense, in the defense system. So I'd say, first of all, the system, as always, because this is a collective sport, being connected around that, accepting the constraints of working all together, and after help the players to be comfortable in it. And second point, after you're gonna go to small teams, you're gonna go like the sevens, so you can do 7 against 7 in a training session on a short space, and step by step 1 against 1. So how can you improve on your skills on that point? I don't know if you're happy with my answer, but
is that the thing that separates good player from the top player, being able to embrace the system, the game plan, and the coaches' philosophies, which gonna be always various different coaches always gonna have different mindset.
Yeah.
The way you want to play, is that the biggest difference? You can have your top world class players. You can actually just step into any system and embrace it, being that difference between the good and real class.
Once again, to be honest, the questions are very interesting, but it would take hours to answer what it is. I think that being I would say that high performance in rugby today is about being able to adapt as a team, so also as a player. So definitely, I think that one of the qualities of a player who want to improve our ways and we want to go to the high performance is being able to adapt to the system and being able to adapt to the game. That's definitely, I think, one of the best things. After, you've got lots of other things that we spoke about. Being a top player, I think, is about being very autonomous, very determined, very connective with the team.
Are those kind of the first qualities you're going to be looking for when selecting your players in your team? Because there's going to be qualities on the field, but there's also personality qualities.
You want me to invite you to the selection committee?
Yes, please. Sign me up.
and you're going to vote for you.
And then make myself captain as well.
Yeah, I can understand why.
You're going to be a captain with a torn hamstring on the sideline.
Bench captain.
No, it's same. You've got a philosophy. You want to play this way. So you're going to try to find the balance between the profiles. You're going to find the balance between the profiles and the system. You're going to try to eventually change your team because the opponent team is definitely different. You can't play Mexico as you play against Poland, and at the same time you need to be the same. So that's lots of things. It's more complicated than sometimes players think it is. That's why maybe I could share, because finally you, as coaches, I think that step by step, when as a staff you're comfortable, you don't speak about the players by being, okay, he's the best and he's the number 2 and he's the number 3. No, you've got lots of profiles, and after you need to, as you do for food, you need to get a recipe, and you say, okay, I'm going to put this profile, this profile, this profile, this profile, these profiles, and it's going to be the good balance to keep the philosophy we have and face that type of opponents. So sometimes by coaches, we want to be simple, so we say, oh, okay, he's the best. But that's absolutely not what we think. You're the best for some options, you're the best for some options, and other players are the best. So it's not about saying he's the best, he's the best, he's the best. It's about a team. And I think that Didier Deschamps in French football is certainly the guy who explains it the more, the best. Yeah, absolutely the best. He says that it's about profiling the team. It's not about the best player, because that's it. Even Antoine Dupont is one of the best players in the world, okay, but he's not the best everywhere.
Yeah.
And he's not able to play prop, for example. So
maybe.
I would love to see him there.
maybe he could play hooker. No, he's definitely a very good player.
So there have been some questions about the selection process for example, the game against Lithuania, because there have been more players actually from the first Liga or the first league rather than from the Extraliga. So there, I think it was 11 to 9.
Praga had the most players in the squad
so
on the day.
That sort of explains.
That's why he's so interested by the process.
There you go.
So as Bisa is in the process, let's have a look.
You know what? Just let the whole Praga team play for the national team. We can make a deal.
Okay.
So
give me money.
So you've been obviously following the Czech leagues, which kind of is understandable for then the selection process. What's your opinion about the Extraliga and First Liga? What's the if you want to give it?
No, I'm there for a few months, so I don't want to give any opinion for now. I was interested by seeing it, so that's definitely the only thing I would say for now. I'd say that you've got different philosophies from one club to another club, which is interesting also because this is very rich, I think. I discovered lots of players, which is also a good thing. And to answer to your question, I would say that today, as a staff, we want to grow the group of players committed in the national teams, because when you have a goal like going to the World Cup in a so small rugby country, I do think that you need to have maybe 70, 80, 90 players involved in the national teams, working all together, being compete between themselves, and at the same time being real teammates, because we will need to be a big group to achieve this. So for now, we are looking for players, and of course, we are looking at all the championships, and we don't care about a player playing in the Extraliga or the second division, or we just want to find players for the national team, find players committed, determined, interested by the goal, and being able to train enough to do it. Because as I said, for a few years, we need to accept absolutely that we will be amateurs. So we need to be high performance amateur players, which is definitely something that as a union we need to organize, and we've got lots of work on that point, let's be clear. And at the same time, players need to understand that for a few years they will need to be also very autonomous, very determined, very able to train by themselves to improve. because, and of course in the clubs, because we won't be able to do much more. So I think we're on a good way. We're on a good way, but we definitely need to be very numerous, because to face all, we will need to be. That's what we think.
So we're talking a lot about the players, but now we have to understand there's one key player in the whole rugby movement. That's the referee. We have had a very interesting conversation last week about it, considering there are conversations between the clubs and the referees.
Yeah.
There has been a sort of a organized call. Thing was on Sunday, and so what is the unions and your maybe position in this to make them understand or like show them what the goal is, because they have to be on board as well, shouldn't they?
If I laughed or I smiled, it's because in every country it's the same.
Yeah.
So I'd say that it's a usual topic. Regarding the project here, I'd say that, as you said, I'm going to start by something. I know some people in different rugbies, and I know that the Scottish Union has definitely changed its championship by talking with the referees, working well with them, and connecting them with the philosophy of the game they wanted to have with the national teams and the best teams in the country. So I'd say that this job we need absolutely to start it. I think it's on the good way.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna speak with the referees, and at the same time, we need to understand as coaches that referees are one of the most important things in the game. So we need also to be respectful for them and accept that they are in charge, and that we need to be coaches and they need to refer and no more. So they've got the whistle, and we need to accept them as human beings. After being connected on the same philosophy, I think could grow the game, of course. It's definitely something difficult, because at the same time, as judges in a justice system, referees need to be absolutely independent, and they need to feel free of doing their job. So the pressure is enough in the game for them to accept that, as I said, they are human beings, and we need to accept it. And at the same time, we need to work all together. So that's something, that's a good balance to find, and it's not that easy.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy. Aaron, do you remember when we started training and David actually started bringing young referees to ref that quick game?
I really like that idea. Yeah. Having the young referees involved in the national team training sessions, having the referee there makes that bit of difference. In general, I know few teams abroad do it quite often, but also it is still going to improve them as a referee. There's quite a few of them being on the sidelines for Extraliga, for Premier Liga. I would love to see more of them being involved as a main guy on the field from time to time, because we can see the passion. You've been talking loads about the passion for the game, and I'm pretty sure those young guys out there need to have the same passion for the game and for them to improve. But then if you go to the young guys within the whole country, if there even is that one thing, and coming back to the players, is there one thing players should focus on going forward, or is it hard to say in
general?
In general.
Yeah. I won't speak about the referees. I would just say that as they are an important part of the game, I think that having the referees at the training session when it's doable is really interesting for the players, for them, and for us as coaches to understand well the way they want to ref, and at the same time them understand well the way we want to play, particularly when you are in the same country. That's really interesting. The second point is that, to be very honest, in France we do it for a few years, and it's really interesting, because I do think that we improved on lots of things in the game thanks to it. And at the same time, now we absolutely need to give them the opportunity to be free, because we are so connected that sometimes it could become a nightmare in the future if we are not able to accept that they have to be independent. So let's find a balance. Regarding the rest, I think that for young players, if we speak about very young players, I'd say that they need to enjoy the game. That's the first thing. That's absolutely the first thing. Enjoy the game. Feel free to be connected with the aim of the game. It's about scoring. It's not about just my pleasure. But try to create something. Try to do things. Feel free. And finally being exposed to lots of experiences to be richer when they will be adults. After, regarding the adults, I'd say that the best thing is the same. But when you want to be a high-performance athlete, it's just not about enjoy. Or you need to enjoy be a high-performance athlete. So you need to enjoy the training sessions which are hard, which are under the rain, which are cold, which are early in the morning. This is about it. So high performance is about being able to say, okay, I need that type of habits to achieve what I want. And even if I don't feel comfortable with it, I need to accept that it will be the way.
Yeah.
It will be the way. So it's about doing choices. And I think, to come back to this, that at the moment, sometimes it's not as easy for players, and I can understand it, to say, okay, I'm going to be a high-performance athlete. I am amateur. I want to do lots of things around rugby, which is fair because this is about life. So find the balance between saying, okay, rugby is my passion. I want to be a top player, and find a good way to organize your life around it. Particularly today, because we've got lots of opportunities in life, it's not that easy. And that's where maybe sometimes we need help from other people to try to make the players conscious about it, and at the same time find the balance for the mental health, because you need also to enjoy your life. So that's not that easy.
It goes for the coaches as well. What is that one thing then for you to switch off? Because being a high performance coach, or at least it is nearly the same. You need that one thing. What is your own thing to switch off, get away from rugby?
I'd say that regarding me, just me, so very focused on myself. Okay, self-centered.
Do you like playing petanque?
I can play petanque, even if I'm terrible in petanque. No, regarding, I'm passionate by rugby 4 years, so I don't need to say that it's not easy for me to think about rugby, play rugby, enjoy rugby, watch rugby, think about the training session. It's not a problem for me. It's not that easy, but I know that it's my profile. The second thing is that I like to be hyperactive, so I don't need that much sleep. I don't need that much things. So
just a lot of coffee.
You don't get any sleep with the amount of coffees you had even just today.
So just to tell the fans, how many coffees you have per day?
Too much.
Too much. Okay.
And can I have one? No, I'd say that regarding me, I need to. I'm interested by lots of things in life. So anyway, that's the way I live, to be interested by lots of things. So reading, listening podcasts about lots of things, politics, history, sociology, psychology. So I like to do this. I like to talk, as you know, with people. That's my motivation, is about lots of collective things and being connected with people and try to understand and enjoy another culture and adapt to it. So to be honest with that, I don't feel really uncomfortable. But I can be 100% rugby, and I know that when I'm 100% rugby, I can be a bit painful for
people around.
The people around. Yeah. So I know that I need
We know this feeling.
You know this feeling.
It happens way too often.
So now we're going to go into a little bit personal and fun section of this podcast. Quick fire questions for you.
Don't think about it too much. If it's going to be one-worded answer, just go with it. Whatever
it's
comes
going to be difficult for you.
You want me to be less talkative. That's it.
Right. Best player you've ever coached?
I'm unable to answer.
Off to a great start.
No. I coached lots of players. It's not.
Who's that one player that just stuck into your mind? It can be just like he was friendly, or he was coachable, or you understood, or maybe he wasn't coachable. That's what you admired around him.
No, but I think about players I had in Aurillac, in the under 18, the under 20, under 23. It's been a wonderful experience because they were so connected to the team, so happy to play all together, even when it was cold, even when it was difficult. So I have a couple of players, of course, in my mind because they were so connected to it and they had the passion and they were able to share it and they were able to pull the team. So some of them, of course, in the women's game, because it's been 15 years, I'd say 11 or 12 years, absolutely wonderful. The 3 last years were more difficult. I won't explain why, but one day maybe you will want to know. But I think about them because same, passionate, totally committed, fighting for their right to play rugby and enjoy it and improve and try to start from the bottom and go to the top. And finally they achieved it by discipline, by pleasure, and under 20s were great last year. I had the chance to cross Antoine Dupont when he was younger in the under 17 years old team. Of course, you felt that he would be a good player and maybe better than that.
I was really hoping you were gonna say quick fire. I was really hoping you were gonna say one of us, but look, it is what it is.
You're definitely good players, but I won't say more.
What is the toughest game in your career?
When I played, or
Yeah.
when
When he played.
when I played, I remember so much games, but I'd say that maybe it's about. I think that when I was Aurillac, we had an opportunity to join the top 14, and finally we failed because I think we were not that much connected with the objective as a team. So I'm not sure that we wanted to join the top level, all of us. I think it's been disappointing for me. So maybe not the toughest on a rugby point of view, but the toughest after.
Yeah.
And as a coach, definitely the quarterfinal of the Olympics in Paris.
Yeah.
For sure.
Attack or defense?
Both. I do love defense, certainly because as a player, I was more defensive player. But attack is definitely the way we want to play. I want to play. I enjoy it. So no, I'm unable to. And you need to do both. So
French top 14 or international test rugby?
International test rugby.
What's your favorite Czech word?
Ahoj. Ahoj is nice. Ahoj is nice.
I know Lionel's favorite word.
What is that?
Pitičko. Pitičko. He says that all the time because...
Kafičko. Okay.
I'd say that's going to be a little bit better for you.
Ahoj. Kafičko. So you've got...
Best atmosphere that you have ever experienced?
Certainly when I played in Clermont and Aurillac, because definitely in France, fans' passion is just great, and connection between the players when the passion is there is just wonderful because it's easier. When you've got a wonderful atmosphere around you, connecting the players is very easy. So certainly, yeah, that type of atmosphere, when you feel that you've got the pressure, that you need to win the game, if not, it's finished. That type of spirit is definitely the best, I think, really, in my opinion.
You going to the Olympics with the French national team, women's national team, where is your Olympics circle tattoo?
Have you not had one?
Have you got one?
No.
How do you go to Olympics and not have?
Everyone
You've
who
got
goes
to have
near
that
Olympics, you
showing
put-
off the
No, but
biceps.
I'm very respectful for that type of. No, but that's not my big thing.
Okay.
I enjoyed, of course, the Olympics, and sometimes I didn't. But it was a wonderful experience in a sports environment. It's for me, this is the best of the best. So it was good on that point. After you've got lots of pressure, particularly when you want to win. So it's lots of deception when it's not like you wanted to. And at the same time, we need to be realistic. You've got one Olympic champion and no more. So that's it. That's the game.
Czech beer or French wine?
I say Czech beer.
Really?
Yeah. To be honest, Czech beer. Even if I do like red wine, but Czech beer. Yeah. I can confess that I've got a problem with Czech beer.
And last one, team to win Rugby World Cup 2027.
Fuck question.
Speedy round. That was.
It's a speed. I'm gonna say France.
Yep.
Because I want to.
Okay.
That's fair enough. Sort of what we expected.
Yeah.
We wouldn't guess you would answer South Africa or some other team.
There will be challenges. I think that 4 teams can win for me.
What are those for?
South Africa, definitely, because they are so connected with what rugby wants at the moment. I think that France really has a good profile also. Highland is able to do it.
Even
if they get through
the
quarterfinals.
Yeah, of course. But this is more about psychology than. But they are able because they are very intense. So I think that they are able to face it, and even if they don't have that much players, they are able to take care of them. So I think that they are always the ones which are the most able to improve in a few years. And even in a few months, England, because they are not down, and of course New Zealand, because New Zealand will stay New Zealand, even if at the moment they are far from it.
Mm-hmm. The standard is not there. That was. So we're sort of getting to the end. Let's give a last message to the Czech rugby fans. What do you want to tell them? What is the way you want to speak to and interact? Because you spoke about how much support can the fans and how much can they aid the entire process.
Perfect. I don't have to say anything else. No, I do think that rugby, I would say this, rugby is definitely a difficult sport because you need to be fully committed. You give your body to the game and to your teammates, to your team. So I think that having support is just massive for a team. So I do think that step by step I do hope that we're gonna be able to be efficient and give spectacle and be able to give a good show each time, because that's part of, I think, the game today. So as I said about Czech rugby, let's be together, let's be as a team, let's be as numerous as possible. And I'd say that passion by passion, there's something great to achieve. That's what I think today, really. That's my opinion. I don't say it's going to be easy, but to be honest, the more it's challenging, the more it's exciting. So I would say that.
Great. So you've heard it from the man himself, because one of the reasons we're actually sitting here with David here, because on Friday, the 3rd of April, we're playing against Mexico, which is a game that has never taken place yet between Czech rugby and Mexico. And we need you to grab your flags, grab your colors, and come to Marqueta Stadium to support. We also have a competition here for 4 tickets to Mexico Czech Republic game. You've heard it from David throughout the entire podcast. It's very important to develop skills to enjoy playing rugby. So we've got an enjoying game, if you want to present that.
So what we like to do for you guys to post on your socials, tag us on Instagram do the best skill that you can show from with a rugby ball. Obviously, tag us. We're gonna share it. We're gonna share it within the hopefully the Czech Rugby Union Instagram as well. And out of those, then David can pick the best skill to receive tickets, free tickets to the game.
It can be a kick, it can be handling, it can be whatever you like, good tackle, whatever it is.
Just try to impress the big man.
We're doing it every week.
I'm very happy to be in charge.
All right, and that brings it to the end. Děkujeme vám, že jste poslouchali dnešní podcast. Doufáme, že jste se něco dozvěděli nového o tom, jaký nastavení vlastně panuje ve francouzském rugby. A těšíme se zase příští týden u dalšího podcastu Rugby bez filtru.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.